What's going on, guys? I am not used to hearing that sound because we have missed the last two episodes. Alex, welcome back. How's it
Welcome
going,
back,
buddy?
fellas.
Ah,
Yeah, all good so far. Yeah, in my absence, it seems like these guys just dropped the ball. What
yeah.
happened, Angelo? Come on,
Well,
give the people some explanations.
Ren had an emergency, which was unforeseen. I understand. I don't know what happened with Austin on the fantasy episode though. I don't know. I don't know. He's lame. That's pretty much what I got. He's lame.
Austin is lame.
Yep.
That's the title of the show, I guess.
Mm. Funny enough, that would not be the first time Austin's been in the title.
So, how did you like this week of football? Tell me, what did you see? I'm
A lot
guessing
of
you
bad
saw some.
football.
I'm guessing you saw some Cleveland Browns, no?
Actually, the game that was shown in my local area because Cleveland was 4 o'clock. So, do you know what
Uh,
game I was gifted for 1 o'clock?
what?
The Pittsburgh Steelers against the Arizona Cardinals.
I guess you should probably have gotten the Browns then.
Yes, I got the Browns.
Oh, you got to watch the Mitchell Trubisky experience.
It's bad, dude.
It's always bad.
And quite honestly, the Cardinals didn't look that good. Like I saw a lot of bad offensive line play. Rondell Moore had some gaffes. Kyler Murray has it didn't matter. The Steel and actually here's something I want to talk to you about because it's a thought I had as I was watching the Steelers and the Cardinals. The Steelers offense as far as getting yards looks a lot better. The Steelers' offense, as far as converting those yards into points, is terrible.
That tracks.
So, what do you what do you make of that? Like, would you rather have the yards and still not score the points, or would you rather like the slow Matt Canada offense, but you get the points at the end?
I mean, would you even get the points with Matt Canada? Like,
Usually, yes.
it usually came on the back of the defense, though. That's the issue. It's like takeaways, short fields. They managed to get a field goal because touchdown pretty scarce with Matt Canada as well. So I mean, I guess I just rather have the yardage, and eventually the touchdowns will come.
Yeah,
It's what I'm thinking. I mean, they're still a playoff team right now. I have
not
no
for
clue
long.
how.
Not for
Yeah,
long.
but yeah, because we should mention that
Houston's
breaking
overtaking them.
news
Houston's overtaking them.
from
Anyway, go on.
from a bit earlier, but Kenny Pickett will miss at least Thursday night football because he did get. It was really weird because I got a news that he was having surgery for his high ankle sprain.
Hmm.
Yet Mike Tomlin came out but said that he would miss Thursday night football. So
So
he didn't.
let's talk
He
about
had no
something
mention
because
of anything
because I
else.
don't know if you know, but that game got rain delayed. The rain was
Yeah.
so bad that it got rain delayed, and there were multiple people who like were seen limping off the field. TJ Watt was one of them. And honestly, I have no idea why the Steelers were playing TJ Watt in a game they were down by like 3 touchdowns and the field conditions were atrocious. No idea. Why?
I mean,
Why would you risk TJ Watt's health? Because here's what would happen. Here's a Steelers defensive possession late in that game, okay? They would run 2 plays, TJ Watt would limp off the field. They would play 2 more plays, TJ Watt would come back on the field. They would play 2 more plays, TJ Watt would limp and it was literally like that on cycle near the end. Just let the guy rest. Like why are you risking TJ Watt's health? What is the purpose of this?
I mean, playing devil's advocate, sometimes and I'm not sure if this was the case here, but it's just a matter of the player wanting to play and go out there because yeah, they're
Yeah.
losing, but it's probably the biggest difference maker Uh, it's hard because I would say the division, but then there's Miles Garrett and a few more players. But it's one of the biggest difference makers on defense in the league. So I mean, if you want to have
100%.
a chance, at least you need to get him out there. And I'm
You're
guessing the players
down
know this.
3 touchdowns. They're kneeling it out. Like what?
Yeah, but the players just don't think that way. They just want to be involved and they want to give their team a chance to win because no one likes to be embarrassed like that versus a team like the Cardinals. I mean, they were pretty high favorites versus the Cardinals, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. They were 5.5 point favorites versus the Cardinals. So they were big favorites. So to go out and lose like that, I mean, it just hurts the ego of the team, hurts the ego of the players, and especially a player like TJ Watt, who's the star of the team. So I understand that part, but I am 100% with you in the fact that if it was the team putting him out there, then yeah, it's kind of just
I get
a
the
really
pride
dumb
thing, but
maneuver.
like how many like plays do you have to limp off the field before you're like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't come back in this game? Like at that point, doesn't like your own preservation kick in at some point?
I mean, some players are just are not wired that way. I'm guessing, so hard to tell them that.
That's fair. Oh, so yeah. Rondo Moore had a huge drop. He could have had. Actually, Rondo
I
Moore
saw that.
was the most shafted player in that game because he had a drop on one touchdown, and then he caught a heavily contested touchdown pass, and it got called back because of holding. So he could have had like 100-yard 2 touchdown game with just two gaffes called back.
Yeah, I saw one of those that played on Red Zone. So I caught one of them. I didn't see the other one though.
Oh, you didn't see the
Yet.
40. He broke two Cardinals defenders and he was wide open. It was right in the breadbasket. He just dropped it.
Yeah. I
There's
saw
no
the
other.
drop. I didn't see. Was the other one a drop as well? No.
The other one was not a drop. He
Okay.
caught it. It was heavily contested, but it was called back because of offensive holding on the offensive line, if
Okay.
I'm not
I saw
mistaken.
the drop. I didn't see the other one.
Okay.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
there
crazy because
were
the
no,
drop
go ahead.
was a bigger play. The drop was like a 50-yard throw almost. The
Yeah,
touchdown that got called back was like a 15-20 yarder.
was that in the first half though? Like first quarter, for example.
The drop or the
The penalty. The
no,
one
that
called
was
back.
late in the game. That was late in the
Okay.
game.
I don't know. I was gonna say that I didn't see most of the first quarters because I only started to watch the games like I don't know around 20 minutes after they started.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing I missed most of the game's first quarters.
That's
Then
fair.
I saw like the second quarter, basically a bit more than that, during a drive home. So my attention, my focus wasn't 100% there. Um, so it's the Christmas season, I guess. That's just throws my focus for a loop. I'm hoping next week it's a bit better, but I am not 100% sure. I already know that the week after I am gonna be on trips again, so and
Uh-oh.
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lovely season. But there were a lot. I mean, I didn't add like 100% focus on every single game, but fortunately for me, there were plenty of really bad games.
Yeah, there
So
were.
yeah, I guess another bad game, and this just goes back to what we were talking previously, for, during the off time. So it's not here, but the Falcons and the Jets
Oh,
with Team Boyle.
I just want Arthur Smith just fired so bad. Like
Uh,
I've never rooted against someone so much before.
but I mean, he's winning. What can you even do? I mean, like, he's what?
It
Right now, he is
looks
a
so
game
bad.
clear of the division.
It looks so bad.
Doesn't matter.
Like,
He's winning.
No, what do you mean it doesn't matter he's winning? You're the guy who week in, week in, week out, you're like, yeah, the Eagles are winning, but they're not winning. Win
I
better. You're the guy who says Eagles win better is gonna say, yeah, but at least Arthur, get out of here.
I mean, yes, but we talk about the Eagles as if they were, or some people talk about the Eagles as if they were the best team in the league and like the absolute cream of the crop, which I think it's completely bogus, and we will get there. And we saw this week. And people talk about the Falcons as if they were like a team would be picking top five this year, and it's just not true. Like they will probably make the playoffs, I'm guessing. So it's just the different ways we look at these teams.
Uh,
But I mean, scoring 13 points versus the Jets was enough to take the win because apparently the issue might not be Zach Wilson.
Actually, I have a little rant on this, but I want you to go on with how you feel about because you sent a tweet. We might as well get into this. You sent a tweet from who was it?
I believe it
Diana
was Diana Rossini, right?
Rossini.
Yeah.
Yep. The Jets want to make a switch at quarterback. The team is leaning towards Zach Wilson to take over, but he is reluctant to stepping back in, sources tell Zach Black. The team is discussing next steps, more on the Athletic shortly. So let's I want to talk about something because so do you know generally what you like associate with a well-run organization as far as ownership goes? It's consistency at the coaching staff. You know, I can bash the Bengals and the Steelers for making the decisions to fire Matt Canada and in the Bengals case Marvin Lewis too late. But at least they gave those people runway and they were 100% sure that these guys were not the right person for the team before letting them go.
Yes.
So, as a person, just as a person, when you get benched, if you're a quarterback, if you got benched, you would not want to get back into that situation. You feel jaded, you feel depressed, you feel sad, you feel like the team doesn't have confidence in you, and then just to thrust you back in there after being sat for Tim effing Boyle. That's just unfair. That reeks of bad management as far as figuring out what to do in between Aaron Rodgers getting hurt and Aaron Rodgers coming back. And it basically contradicts everything that you've said when you said Zach's our guy. We want Zach to be the future going forward post Aaron. Like, either you needed to play Zach the whole time or you need to play someone else the whole time and let Zach develop. Because one of the things that I will say about Zach Wilson is he didn't get to play against a lot of NFL caliber DBs, linebackers, and pass rushers at BYU. So it would make sense for him to take longer to get adjusted to the speed, adjusted to the different play callings and what he can do and what he can't do. So, like, it shows a lack of empathy on the Jets. It shows a lack of understanding how to manage your team. And I'm not sure, like, I know we Aaron is a great quarterback. I'm not sure how much better the Jets are with Aaron Rodgers because of how bad they are as far as the offensive line goes. But who knows? Maybe Aaron can get Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson the ball faster, so that'll fix everything. But go on.
Yeah, I sort of 100% agree with you. I mean, it's one thing, as you said, to have the guy benched for Tim Boyle, and now they want him back. But the thing is, this happened like last year as well. They benched him for, I don't know, was it like Mike White or something?
It was
Then he
Mike
was
White.
like inactive for a while. Then Mike White, if I'm not mistaken, got hurt or something. And then he was put back in for another game. Then he was pulled back. I mean, just this constant like rotation of guys. And then just like as a human being, you sort of get tired of this because it's like, first you're the guy, first like the organization is 100% behind you, and sure, you haven't been great, you haven't even been good, you haven't even been okay, you've been bad for most of that stretch. I understand that. As you said, they didn't have the experience from facing top DBs, top linebackers, top defenses, nothing like that. He played at BYU. But then, like, if you're gonna give him the leeway and if you're gonna say, I trust this guy and this guy is the guy for my team, you are building his confidence up. Things aren't pretty. I mean, but as we're seeing, things are not pretty with any other QB because the offensive line is
It's
absolute
atrocious. It's absolutely
garbage.
atrocious. Yeah.
They have one of, if not the worst, offensive coordinator in the league. And I mean, there's just outside of
Don't
Garrett
they bring in
Wilson.
Matt Canada?
No, that's why I said one of, if not the worst. But I mean, Hackett is just, it's just been proven that he was the reason that the Broncos were that bad. Because this is an atrocious product we're seeing. And like your weapons outside of
So
Garrett Wilson,
Hackett was brought in to appease Roger. Hackett isn't used to coaching quarterbacks that aren't Aaron Rodgers, who can adjust all of his play calling on the fly. And then Rodgers does do that.
I mean, it's kind of like saying that this guy's success is only successful because he has one of the top, what, 5 QBs in the NFL history, and that's his resume, is that he's best friends with this guy.
I mean,
I
that's
mean, come
how
on now.
who Daniel
Adam
Gase.
Gase.
Adam
Yeah.
Gase, yes, and Peyton Manning. So that was Adam
Yeah, yeah.
Gase's claim to fame. So I mean, it works in the
And
NFL. Works in the
I
NFL.
guess you can say who's that guy? McDaniels and Brady.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels.
Although McDaniels did have some success with Matt Jones. Matt
Yeah,
Jones.
yeah. The Patriots' offense looked miles better with Josh McDaniels than it did with Mac Jones there than it did with anything that's they've gotten since.
Regardless, like it's still the worst, or at least a bottom 3 offensive coordinator in the league right now, as we're seeing it. After the whole debacle in Denver, and now it's another debacle in the Jets in New York. I mean, it's just atrocious statistics. And now, after all of this, you bench the guy for Tim Boyle, you've benched the guy for Mike White, you benched the guy for some CFL QB like Stravler or something like that. I don't even know the dude's name right now. But you benched him for all of those. And now you bench him for Tim Boyle in a year that it was supposed for Zach Wilson to sit on the bench and learn from one of the greatest of all time.
Yep.
He's building his confidence. He's going through the offseason program. He's taking ownership of everything he's done bad. I
Yep.
mean, the kid's just getting built up in terms of morale. And now he gets pulled for Tim Boyle. And after 2 games of Tim Boyle, in which the offense, I mean, does nothing but 3-and-outs, basically, now you want him back. Like, no, guys, just F off, man. Like, let me be. Just trade me next year or something. Like, give me a chance to at least have a team that gives me some sort of confidence, not like this crazy rotation. Because now they want him back for like a game or two. Then Aaron Rodgers might be back. Now maybe they bench him for, I don't know, Simeon or something. And the
Aaron Rodgers
craziest,
has returned to practice reportedly.
yeah, but it's like as I said like a few episodes ago, it's with the contingency
Mm-hmm.
that if they miss the playoffs, he might not be back. I mean, it's just what I said the other episode. It's just like he just wants to say that he was the guy who came back faster than anyone else from an Achilles injury without actually coming back. But it's just Rogers being Rogers. But I mean, like, come on, guys. Just if you knew this was this bad. I mean, Salah told us this. He was like, Wilson is the guy who gives us the better chance of winning games, and it's true because Tim Boyle is complete. Tim Boyle was inept in college. Like, go check his records. He's absolutely terrible in college. In college versus guys who are probably selling cars right now, not even in the NFL. And then it's Simeon. who hasn't been relevant since I don't know, like 2000 what 18 or 17 when he had that run with the I want to say the Vikings or something
Denver Broncos.
or the Broncos, yeah. But I do believe he was with the Vikings, wasn't he?
I'm not
But
sure. I
it's
I
just
remember
like
him with the Broncos. That's where I.
yeah, yeah. I know. I do believe he had a stretch with the Vikings. But yeah, after all of this, I don't blame Zach for this sort of like, no, guys, it's enough. It's sort of like a toxic relationship. And
Yeah.
at some point, you sort of have to say that this is just enough. Just we have to go our separate ways. And this is Zach saying that, I guess. I know it will rub off on some people that he isn't a competitor and he's mentally weak. I can already see the narrative starting to build. But people just don't think like of these guys as human beings. And like,
Yeah.
this is the third time he's been benched now.
This
And it's
isn't
the
your
third
Madden
time that they want
franchise.
to
This
go.
is real life. People have
Yeah,
emotions
exactly.
and people have egos, and you have to balance that.
Yeah, it's like it's enough. Like he has, it's the third time he's been benched. It's the third time they want to go back to him. When the going gets rough, they want to go back to him to just point the finger at him. The O line is terrible. Like the defense is the only saving grace. I mean, they scored what? They scored 8 points. Two of those were a safety. Like, come on, what are we doing
I'm
here?
pretty sure their first points was the safety too.
Yeah, it was. It was. I believe it was a Bijan Robinson tackle in the end zone
Mm.
or something. But yeah, I mean, just I don't blame him, and I hope he doesn't step back in that field as a Jet, but he probably might because the
I
kid does
I
genuinely
wouldn't blame
seem
him if
to
he did it.
like, yeah, but the kid genuinely does seem to like being out there and being with his guys. Like he takes a rough beating every time that he steps out there, or most of the times that he steps out there. But he genuinely just seems like an happy kid when he's out there. So I sort of feel for him. I wouldn't want him back there though. It's enough.
Yeah, yeah, no, that I agree with you.
Enough is enough.
I agree with you. Is there any
Sort
other
of
game you want
like,
to talk about? Go
of
ahead.
course, man, sort of like we should have said that enough is enough for this whole Bailey Zappi experience.
Oh
How
God,
about
no.
that Bailey Zappi offense, huh?
I'm more disappointed that the Chargers weren't able to muster more than 6 points against the frickin' Patriots.
I mean, the defense is still good. It's still a Bill Belichick defense. That's the
Still,
thing.
but it's still you got Justin Herbert, you got Keenan Allen, you got Austin Eckler. You can't get
Got
more than
Quentin
6 points.
Johnston.
Oh, this guy.
He had a nice little drop right there. I liked it.
Oh man. Go on, get on the Quinn Johnston bandwagon. He dropped another
To
key third down.
To be frank, he had a okay game. But yeah, I think he had like 5 catches. I can check. Yeah, he had 5 catches for 52 yards. He had like he didn't have the most drops on the team. I believe Keenan had the most drops, but he still had the worst one by a mile. And in that game, Ramondre went out as well in the
Hmm.
first quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I believe he has a high ankle sprain right now. The team are evaluating what to do with him right now. But it's just like you scored 0 points,
Bad, dude.
zero after banking. But I mean, I knew benching Mac Jones for Bailey Zappi wasn't the call, but apparently no one in the organization knew. Yeah, the Chargers had no snaps past the Patriots 20, and the Patriots had no snaps past the Chargers 30. The Patriots have now allowed 26 points over the last 3 weeks, and they are 0-3.
That's
It's
just
just,
ridiculous.
it's the first team since 1938 to lose 3 straight games despite allowing 10 or less points in all 3 of those games. History has been made.
So you think Josh McDaniels is coming back to the Patriots, or do you think we're gonna hear a report that after Brandon Staley gets fired, that Josh McDaniels is coming on as the OC and they're trading for Bill Belichick?
I still do not believe Bill Belichick gets anything but let go in the
There's
offseason.
no way.
I
There's no way. If you can get something for Bill Belichick, why not?
I don't think they can.
I think the Chargers will pay it. Have you
That would be
watched the
asking.
Chargers play? They
Yeah.
if there is one team that is desperate, it is the Chargers.
Are they desperate for a net coach who is about to go 1-16 with an offense scoring what 10 points in the last 3 weeks? Are Is that their answer for their desperation? It's like I can coach a team to score 0 points. Will they hire me?
This
Come
guy.
on now. Let's be serious about this.
Bill Belichick has a history and a pedigree. Same with Josh McDaniels. And you will pay for that history or pedigree. I'm telling you.
I am not saying that he won't have a job in 2024. I am saying
Just,
that no team
just
will trade for him.
I think you're wrong. I think there will be more. I think it's going to be more than just the Chargers trying to compete for.
Nor do I think the Patriots would do that. In the sense of they are
You don't think the
gonna
Patriots would get something for Bill Belichick before he walks out the door?
I think they would go with the route of amicable part away. So it's just he's gonna be able to decide where he goes. There's no trade there. He's just gonna be let go. Like pretty statement being thrown out there at the end of the season. We thank Bill. We appreciate the history that we have together. All of that, and then he's gonna be let go, and he can go to whichever team he wants. I don't think Kraft will do that. We'll
We'll
trade
see.
him to something. Yeah.
We'll see.
Still in that
One
game,
of those takes is aging poorly, and I
yeah,
can't wait to figure out which one it is.
aging like milk at the sun.
Yep.
But the last thing I want to talk about in that game, because that game was god awful. I would rather avoid that. But is Austin Eckler sort of done?
I'm. It's hard. It's hard to tell if Austin Eckler is done or if the play calling, as far as offense goes, for the Chargers is just that bad.
I mean,
It's
it's
I'm not trying to make excuses for the guy, but it really could be that.
it can be the
Like,
injury as well.
true.
He was
I
hurt
do
at the start of the year.
I do believe Tony Pollard's broken leg has contributed to how he's performed, at least especially at the start of the season. So I think that injuries play a bigger, and I get why players play through these injuries because it's the NFL and it's next man up and you want to secure your paycheck. But
Yeah.
injuries play a huge role on how you perform on the field. You can't just it's obvious. You don't just play 100% when you're injured.
Yeah.
That
For
just doesn't happen.
for fantasy, I think it's just the scheme. But even running out there, it doesn't look 100%. So I'm guessing it's not that he just completely fell off. I think it's more of an because it was an high ankle sprain, which usually tends to linger
Yes.
during the season. So
Yep.
affects his mobility, his agility, his burst. So you add that up with the lack of receiving work coming from the scheme, plus the rotation of guys. Now that they're involving Joshua Kelly a bit more, you just get this sort of mess. But we'll talk about it in Thursday's episode.
True.
Which other
There will be a
game
Thursday episode this week.
this week
Alex
there
will be
will be?
here.
I
Next week
guess
is
I
in
have.
question.
Now, next week I will be. Just not sure if I'll be able to catch all of the games as I usually like to do.
Okay.
But I will be. It's just the Sunday I probably have something to do.
Okay. He'll be in the studio. He just Won't be his normal self.
Yeah, just won't have the encyclopedia of things that I know about.
Yep.
There's two games I want to talk about here still. The Cowboys and the Seahawks.
Oh
This
God.
game gave me hope.
It did?
I mean, we were looking pretty for a while.
I guess that's true. The offense, DK Metcalf with 3 touchdowns. So what? Because I didn't watch that game because if I'm not mistaken, that was the Thursday night game,
Yes.
and I was in bed fairly early Thursday. So what happened? Give me a
I
breakdown.
mean, DK just showed Bland was like his daddy.
What?
He beat him at least. I'm not sure if the third touchdown was as well, but he beat him in those two touchdowns. Like he beat him going deep. He just completely turned on the burst and just went off. The Jets were at 100% there, and Bland was left in the dust. And then he beat him on a short route. I believe it was a slant, if I'm not mistaken, or something of sorts. An underneath route at the goal line. He beat him as well physically. Not like he didn't punch him or something. He just beat him using his physicality. That's what I'm saying. And then the third touchdown, I'm not sure if it was versus Bland, but I don't think it was. I mean, we were looking pretty for a while there, but eventually we sort of just turned back to our usual self. Charbonnet went out as well for a while there. I believe he's still in doubt for next week's game.
Mm.
I believe it was a knee injury, and Pete mentioned Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, that it swelled up pretty quickly. So I'm not sure what's his status for this week. Bigger, like he's gonna have a big week to recover because they played on Thursday. Now they play Sunday or Sunday. I'm not sure if it's Sunday or if it's like the early games or if it's Sunday night football because isn't it? Oh no, it's the Niners. The Eagles is the Sunday night football or the Monday night football primetime game. But yeah, I mean, we sort of played well, but then in the end, we sort of just bobbled it. And the last play of the game, our just great offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, you know what his play call was and what his design was for Micah Parsons?
Leave him 1-on-1.
No, leave him rush free to Geno Smith. When that's the plan, I'm sort of wondering what are we doing here, guys?
So I have a question. Is there an offensive coordinator you like then? Since we've talked about the Jets offensive coordinator, the Seahawks offensive coordinator, the Steelers offensive. So who do you like?
I mean, there is Ben Johnson. I like Ben Johnson quite a while. The Lions offensive coordinator.
Okay, okay, okay.
I like him quite a while, quite a bit. I mean, and the I never know his name. The Chargers guy who was with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, Kellen
More right, exactly,
Moore.
Kellen.
Right.
I always think it's Ken. It's not Kellen for some weird reason. But I like those two quite a bit. And there's a few I'm indifferent towards. Like the Eagles offensive coordinator, I think is pretty bad. But let me just wrap this one up here. But yeah, we were looking pretty for a while. And then Dak came back, made a good few plays, and our defense just became a shell of themselves. I remember the days in which I thought this defense was actually good. But yeah, those days are now far gone. This defense is just. We usually start. We have this weird curve every single season, which is like our defense sucks to start, and then it just ramps up as the season goes on. And by the end of the season, we are pretty good defense, at least a top 10 defense in most stats. But apparently, we sort of got to a good defense a bit too soon this year, and now we are just completely falling down again. So it's lovely. Now we face the Niners and the Eagles the next 2 weeks. We were sitting pretty in the playoffs, and now we are 6-6, about to probably be 6-8.
That's pretty rough. That's pretty
Pretty
rough.
rough. At least like the end stretch, it's not too bad. It's the Titans, it's the Steelers, and it's another like not so great team, which I'm checking right now. I don't know the top of my head that last team is. Oh, it's the Cardinals. Yeah, so it's the Steelers, the Titans, the Cardinals. Two of those are away though. We got the Steelers at home, the other two away. So a 9-8 is probably where we're heading. But yeah, rough season. I cannot have good teams, man. That's like
Not this
no
year.
matter the sport,
Not this year.
football or fantasy football, doesn't matter.
Not
And
this
then
year.
finally, how about those frauds? How about the Eagles, man?
I told you, you
Tell me.
cursed the Eagles.
I
You
mean,
cursed
yeah,
the, and I
maybe.
remember I remember what you were saying because the 49ers were up something like 21-6, and I'm like, the sacrifices is starting. He's like, oh no, I've seen this script before. The Eagles are about to score a touchdown and then get a
They
2 point
scored.
conversion. And
It was 21-13, and then I was like, this is gonna be the same Eagles BS. Because it was the time in which Greenlaw was kicked out of the game, and then the security guard was kicked off the game, and then the Eagles fans were starting to go nuts, and you can just feel the momentum change, and I was like, this is it. Purdy throws a pick, or it's a 3-and-out. The Eagles go out there, they play again, make a few good plays, few lucky plays as well. Eventually, tush push for a touchdown or brotherly shove for a touchdown, and they win on a late field goal. I was pretty sure that was going to happen, but apparently the writers had a new script. They were sort of done with the old one, so done with the old, bring in the new, I guess. I like the script because it shows that the Eagles were actual massive frauds. Who would have
this
thought?
guy,
Just it was a one-off game in which a week in which I had the Eagles as the number one team in the power rankings because I was forced to. I was coerced
I
to
was
by you.
forced. To.
You you made me do it. I did not want to do it, but you made me do it
This guy,
after a bogus Bills game
a
and a
bogus.
bogus KC game. Now they get what they were, what it was due to them. I'm guessing. That's just, man. I mean, the Niners just beat the crap out of them, and I should probably have the Eagles even lower in my power rankings.
Oh no.
What do you think of this loss? Is this like a loss that really impacts you in terms of how
Um,
you think about the Eagles? Because you have been defending the Eagles for quite a while.
yeah, no, I don't like. I just think the 49ers are like when the 49ers are clicking, there's no stopping them. That's just it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. That's what happened. The 49ers were clicking. I think something I want to talk about as far as Brock Purdy goes is a lot of people, at least the narrative around him seems to be he's a game manager. But quite honestly, he throws the ball down the field more than any of the other San Francisco quarterbacks have passed, whether that be recently, whether that be Trey Lance, whether that be Jimmy Garoppolo. He's more than that. He is a value at the contract, a huge value at the contract that he's given, and I don't think we give him enough love. He's a pretty good quarterback.
There are a few books, I would say around half of them that I'm seeing here, that have Brock Purdy as the leading MVP candidate.
That's interesting.
That's something you can get behind.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I mean, quite honestly, it's a pretty bad year. Most of the time, we have like this one player, these two players that just go ham. Last year, it was Mahomes and Hurts, and I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that.
I mean, there's a
So
players going nuts right now, and it's probably going to break a record.
Tyreek Hill. So, quite
Yes.
honestly, I think Tyreek Hill has a shot considering how I'm going to say pedestrian the quarterback play has been as far as compared to previous years. Like Patrick
Yes.
Mahomes is down, Jalen Hurts is down. We're talking about Dak Prescott. So if we're talking about Dak Prescott as an MVP candidate, then yes, Brock Purdy should absolutely be an MVP candidate.
And you can get Tyreek Hill at plus 2,000 on FanDuel. I think it's insane odds for a guy who, I mean, if he doesn't win it, it's just because there's a bias towards the QB, and I get that.
Yep.
QB is usually the most important position on the field, but I mean, I don't think you can give it. It's like the Adrian Peterson season, and I know there was the narrative because of the injury when he won it, but Tyreek Hill isn't seen or perceived in the same light as Adrian Peterson was when he won it, due to the off-field stuff and all of that. But it's still crazy to me that we're not giving it to the guy who will probably break 2,000 yards for the first time ever in the history of the league. To give it to some guy who will have, like, I don't know, less than three, or who's currently, how many passing yards does Purdy have? Yeah, Purdy has 3,100 passing yards right now. Like, he has 23 touchdowns, 6 picks. I mean, it's an okay season. It's gonna end with probably around 30 touchdowns. Might have around 9 to 10 picks, I'm guessing. It's just not impressive enough to me as a Tyreek Hill 2,000 yard season. That's just me.
Fair.
It's probably gonna be a QB winning it. One of these QBs is gonna
Quite
go off
honestly,
late.
I think it's going to be Dak. I think Dak because he has like the setup because he's had good weeks every week, other than like one in the last like 5-6 weeks. So a strong performance from Dak. He's the Cowboys quarterback. He's going off, and the Cowboys are going to have a good record. There's your ingredient list for making an MVP. Good stats near the end. Team is a high seed in the playoffs. Highly recognized team adds to the benefit. So
My one pushback on it is that while not right now he is playing pretty well. If he doesn't hold this type of play until the end of the season, and if he does take a dip, I'm not sure if this is considered late into the season enough to the point in which it will stay in the minds of MVP voters. If he does have a
oh,
pretty like rough ending,
if he balls
because
out again to that Philly team again, because he balled out the first game, then I think
yeah,
that'll
there's a rough few games. Like there's the Philly game coming up, then it's
San
at
Frisco.
Buffalo,
I'm pretty
and
sure.
a team that needs to win. Then it's at Miami. Then they have Detroit. Then they finish up at Washington. So I mean,
Okay,
it's a
I'm
rough
gonna be fair.
stretch.
Let's be fair here. None of those defenses scare me. It's more the offenses that scare me on most of those teams.
Yeah, but if he doesn't win those games, though, now you're looking at a team who's what, 9-8. Are you gonna give like? Imagine he loses. Eagles are pissed off. They get a win. Imagine they go at Buffalo. Buffalo is in a must-win situation. They win. Imagine they go at Miami. I think Miami is still the better team between the two of them. They win. Then it's Detroit. Imagine they just go on a 0-4 stretch here. Suddenly you're looking at a 9-8 team.
You're not
And a
wrong.
9-8 team shouldn't have an MVP winning QB, despite the fact that it might be the defense letting him down, and he might have, like, I don't know, 300, 400 yard games in all of those games even. But if the defense lets him down and they do lose those games, which would be very on brand for Dallas to lose the big games, you just can't give an NFL MVP to that guy, at least in my eyes.
It's fair.
So there's a few things here. I think Tyreek Hill is massive value right now at plus 2,000. That's just crazy. But yeah, I think I am mostly done with those games. Guess small shout out to the Packers for just beating the Chiefs when they were 8.5 point underdogs. Packers are sneaky good right now, dude. Our prediction might have
Jordan
been right in the end.
Jordan Love is playing really good.
Yeah, I believe they have won 5 of the last 6 games. So they are up there as the hottest team in the league right now.
They're
They,
probably gonna make a Super Bowl a playoff appearance. Honestly,
I mean, yeah. Let me just check the playoff predictors here. How far off are they? Because it is the
they,
NFC, which is kind of like whatever.
the NFC is kind of top heavy. It can't
Yeah.
if they're off, it can't be by much. It just can't be. There's three wild card teams, and I can think of two that are justifiable: Dallas, and now I'm drawing Seahawks.
Yeah. So right now they would be in.
Yeah. No, I
As
think they're
as
making
things
it.
stands, they would be the last seed. They are ahead of the Rams and the Seahawks.
That makes sense.
Yeah. There must be like some the versus the Seahawks is probably divisional record versus the Rams. Did they beat the Rams? Didn't they play the Rams or something? I'm
I don't.
pretty sure they beat the
I
Rams.
don't know if they beat their. I don't think they did because I think that was at the
Uh,
start of the season when they were rough.
can check here. No, they beat the Rams. Week 9, they beat the Rams.
Oh, so they have the tiebreaker.
They have the tiebreaker, yeah. That's why they're ahead. They are not facing Seattle though. They just faced the Rams. But yeah, they are currently in, and they are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They have a pretty solid strength of schedule. It's 0.528, which is not too bad, I think. So yeah,
Yeah.
they are definitely shoe in to at least be in the race. Okay,
Anything else?
any other game you want to talk about?
Oh, the Bengals play on Monday. I'm sure I'll be depressed about that during the fantasy episode.
I might be as well, buddy.
Why is that?
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
you know why is that?
This man's
It might.
projecting Jamar Chase to score less than Zay Jones.
It might score more, but I'm not sure if he scores 5% more.
This guy. This you have been broken by heartbreak and turmoil. All
Exactly.
right. Um, thinking about it. Hold on, I'm gonna check the scores real quick. There's probably a game that's really obvious that I'm not thinking of. So let's see. Browns, Rams. I know. Uh, Chiefs, Packers. We talked about. Panthers, Bucks. Yeah, okay. You want to talk about the Commanders getting shellacked?
What even is there to talk about?
Commanders got shellacked. Go
They got
on.
shellacked.
Um,
It's just like,
the Lions, Saints. I'm surprised you didn't want to take this opportunity to
oh
bash on
yeah,
Derek
yeah,
Carr
yeah.
even more.
That's a good
Yeah,
one that I missed. Yeah, like that game was weird because they were up like 21-0 with I believe it was around 10 minutes passed in the
yeah.
first quarter, which was crazy to me. I didn't see the 21-0 happening. So I tuned in after that. Then Derek Carr goes down closer to the end of the game, and they
Mm.
just, yeah, I believe he had every single injury in the book because they just say he has a shoulder injury, he probably has a concussion, he has a arm injury or something. I mean, the dude just had everything in the book. Poor guy. And apparently he's on concussion protocol right now. It's just, I
Jeez.
mean, it's just rough, man. They finally had to get a red zone possession in which they scored a touchdown. I believe they had more than one, but if I'm not mistaken, going into that game, the Lions were the third worst team. in terms of red zone touches converting to touchdowns. So
Mhm.
red zone possessions converting to touchdowns. So it was like the movable force facing the stoppable object.
Yeah. Olave
Stoppable
had a
object move.
lot of receptions with which ended with right inside the 5.
Yeah,
So,
I believe he had two or three. He had five
yeah.
catches in the end. Still, who led the team with receptions? Alvin Kamara. Still out there, still being the main source of that offense. Kamara should have had a massive game, but Taysom Hill scored. I believe he stole one touchdown from him. Should have had even one more touchdown. Kamara had it, and it was called back due to a penalty. Then Hill ran it in. So yeah, not great if you had Kamara. But yeah, now it should be, at least this week, it should be James Winston. James Winston. Does that
I'm not
make
sure if
the
that's
Saints better for you?
better. No. Does it give me more hope with Chris Olave getting a bunch of yards? Yeah, probably. But that doesn't necessarily equate to the Saints being better.
I think they will be exactly the same. They will have more turnovers, but they will be better in the red zone. That's my take.
That's your take. You're sticking
Yeah.
to it.
Okay, now power rankings.
Our rankings.
How does this week change things up for you?
Well, I mean, not much. Looking at my power rankings now, here, a lot of teams. So this is weird because a lot of teams had a bye.
Yeah, by
So
Apocalypse.
like, did the Jags play? I don't even think the
Not
Jags
yet.
played.
They played today versus your
Oh, they played the
Bengals.
Bengals. They played the Bengals. That's right. That's right. That's right. The Ravens were on a bye. Yeah, no. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna.
You're just gonna say it's the same.
It really is about to be the same. So with a few modifications. Yeah, 10 is the Texans. They're coming off a win. Actually, no. 10 is the Browns. 10 is the Browns. 10 is the Browns. They are coming off a loss, and it looks like they're incapable of scoring points. And when the defense isn't like out of its mind, then they're just not in it. 10 is the Browns. 9 is the
Miles Garrett
Texans.
didn't even record a tackle, if I'm not mistaken. Not even a sack, a tackle, nothing. Just out of the game.
Hey, that's how you beat the Browns.
Yeah.
But anyway, 10 is the Browns. 9 is the Texans. 8 is the Lions. 7 is the Jags. 6 is the Dolphins. 5 is the Ravens. 4 is the Cowboys. 3 is the Eagles. 2 is the Chiefs. And 1 is the Niners. Do
Okay,
you
who
have the
did you
Jags?
have at 4?
4? The Cowboys.
Yeah. Okay. I was just missing that one. I like to keep track of this as well.
Okay.
And here you have both. Perfect. Okay. So I have a team that it's outside looking in and was pretty close to making it, which
Uh-huh.
was the Packers.
Yep.
The Packers were very, very, very
Packers.
close to
Packers
making it
honestly
in.
should have been my 10. Oh well, but go on.
They are on the bubble. But okay, from the bottom, I have Houston at 10. I have Buffalo at 9.
You still
They
have
are
Buffalo.
still they are still hanging around here. Then I
What's
have
wrong with you?
Jacksonville at 8. I should probably put the Packers ahead of Jacksonville after what will happen today. Then I have Miami at 7. I have Dallas at 6. I have Detroit at 5. I have Philadelphia
And I
at
knew it.
4. I have
Granted, I guess
Baltimore.
that's not that big of a
Yeah, they were
take.
close. I just didn't want to drop them all the way down there because in the end, I do think that they would beat Detroit and they would beat Dallas, as they will this week probably.
Mhm.
So I didn't want to put them all the way down to 6. And I actually should have Miami at. Okay, so my bad. Dallas is 7. Miami is 6. That's it. Then it's Detroit at 5. Then it's Philadelphia at 4. Then it's Baltimore at 3. They jump up a spot even though they didn't play. And it's KC at 2. And it's San Francisco at 1. Just kind of hard to debate right now. It's kind of like they are the cream of the crop right now, I think.
Yeah, it is hard to.
It is hard to say anything about them, really. It's like they just beat teams. They are 9-3. They had a rough stretch. They are 3-0 in the division, but they apparently are through the bad stretch. They are getting healthier. So, and they have their first. I had no clue that this was the case, but McCaffrey, it's the first 1,000-yard rusher that they had since Frank Gore.
Really?
Yeah, which seems crazy due to their run game. But I guess it makes sense due to the injuries, right?
Well, not only the injuries, they don't use like a stable back. They usually do an RBBC, so
But isn't
it
it
clears.
more because now we can say, did they use a running back by committee because of need, because their guys were constantly injured? Or was that what they preferred and now they prefer just ending it off like 96% of the time to McCaffrey?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Or maybe McCaffrey's just so good that you can't justify
Not
giving it to
giving it to
someone else.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can't. You can't.
Okay. And now for the last segment, the picks. We both finished with a winning record.
Somehow.
Somehow, some way. I finished 7-4-1. Of course, Monday Night Football is pending. It is gonna start in about 5 hours or so. So it is. I am 7-4-1. You are 8-3-1, which puts the overall record to 82, 107. Cough. Goddamn. 82, 107, and 2. So we now have 2 ties on the year, which is crazy. And that is 100, because I didn't calculate the percentages. That's 43% to me. And you are 99, 90, and 2. So yeah, 99, 90, and 2. That puts you at 52% on the season.
That's not where. So maybe having a 55% correct rate is a lofty goal because, like I was talking to you earlier, that is like professional betters percentage. But that's about where I want to be.
And you're still mass betting it. So it's impressive still.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's one thing if you go like 55 and you're picking what, 3, 4 games a week. You've picked over 191 games.
You're not wrong.
So, okay. So the game pending today, the line moved in your favor actually. You
Really.
had Jacksonville minus 8.5. I had Cincinnati plus 8.5. The line is now a flat 10. Yeah. So
Oh
you might
Lord.
have the inside track here.
We'll see.
But week 14 picks. Do you want to get us started?
I'm sure you wish I would.
I guess I can start this one. You started last week, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'll take the suffering. Let's go. Let me
Okay.
log in. This crappy game. I know the over/under is 30 points. I know.
Which, if it's not the highest on the week, if it's not the lowest, I bet the highest.
I'm surprised it wasn't in the 20s, honestly.
Yeah. I don't see how this game finishes with 30 or more points.
Same. But anyway, it's the Steelers and the Patriots. It's actually a +6 for the Patriots, which is crazy to think about. Or yeah, the Steelers are favored by 6 points. Anyway, I'm going with the Patriots because I'm not even sure if one of these teams gets 6 points. So give me the 6 points.
Yeah, just a rule of thumb here for me. It's a 30-point over under. Should probably be a 27 or 26-point over under. I'm always gonna take the points. It's almost a touchdown here. I'm just gonna take the points. It's New England +6 for me as well.
All right, you do the next one.
Oh, okay. We're just getting the low over under games out of the way. It is the second lowest over under game on the week. It's the
I think
Houston
this one's
Texans.
wrong. I think that over/under's wrong. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, 34.5 is kind of weird, but it's Houston at the New York Football Jets. The over under is 34.5. And the Jets are 6.5-point underdogs. So, I mean, I have no clue who the QB will be right now. It doesn't seem like it will be Tim Boyle. My best guess right now is that it's indeed going to be Zach Wilson. I mean, 6.5 in a 34.5 over under. This might be the toughest test that Stroud has ever faced in the NFL
Oh,
in
stop it.
terms of a. I mean, it might be in terms of a defense. The Jets have probably a top three secondary in the league. So yeah, I guess I'll just take same logic here. I'll take the Jets +6.5. Just low over under. Rookie QB versus a pretty stout defense. Stroud has actually seemed to be slowing down a bit right now. Yeah, the off game, I believe this is now his third game, which isn't like great out of this world. Or is it the second game? Because I know he had a pretty okay game versus the Jags. Now
Hmm.
this one was also pretty iffy. He got pulled in the end there because I believe he was injured. I'm not sure how the other game went. But yeah, the other game was Arizona as well. Arizona didn't play great. It was the three interception game. So this was, I mean, just three games in which he has looked mortal. What says you?
Give me Houston.
Houston -6.5.
Yep.
Okay.
One, it goes against Alex, so Alex cursed the Jets, and two, um, I think the offense is playing better than we give it credit for. So, or is going to
They are
play better than
certainly they are certainly playing better than the Jets offense.
most certainly.
Okay, now. What is next for you?
The Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears, and the Lions are only favored by 3 points. Give me the Lions. Just I, I, I couldn't tell you why it's only 3 points. Couldn't tell you. Is Jared Goff not playing?
No, I do believe this is because, and I can check this real quick, but didn't the Bears beat the Lions on Thanksgiving?
I believe so.
Yes. So, yeah, they beat. Oh no, they did not. Yeah, my bad. They were up for most. Yeah, that was the game in which Justin Fields fumbled there in the end, and they lost it 31-26. Yeah.
Just, just.
Yeah, I still don't understand this line. I know it was a close game. Goff struggled for most of it, and it was in Detroit. They eventually ended up winning by 5 with a late touchdown. This is still a Lions spot for me. The Lions are a top 5 team in the league. The Chicago Bears are a bottom 10 team in the league. But yeah, easy Detroit for me here.
Same. Who you
Then
got
it
next?
is the LA Rams at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are 7-point favorites with an over under of 43. Ravens out of a bye. Give me the Ravens. Ravens -7. It's a big number. Like this Rams team has some fight in them. So I'm sort of afraid of a backdoor cover late. But the Ravens are a top 3 team in the league right now, so to me at least.
I agree with you on that, and it might just be the Bengals fan in me never voting for the Ravens, but I'm going with the Rams.
Righty.
Next game for me. Oh man. Carolina Panthers at New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints favored by 5. Just give me the Saints.
Yikes.
Yikes.
This is a game that I do not want to pick. But I mean, I went with the Packers, with the Panthers last week. They did me solid. I managed to win that one. I had +5 as well. Another +5 here. Divisional matchup. Saints might be without Carr. More turnovers from Winston. Give me Carolina +6. +5. My bad.
Okay.
I'll just keep rolling with these guys. Okay. Oh, another NFC South game. Lovely. The Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. The over-under is 39.5. And the Falcons are 2.5 point favorites versus the Bucks.
Go on.
And I just pick none.
No.
We just Okay, give me Atlanta +2 and -2.5.
I'm not picking Atlanta. Screw that. Give me the Bucks.
They served me well last week, so I'm just
Jacksonville
going back to them.
Jaguars at Cleveland Browns.
Oh boy.
This is a lot of bad games. The Jaguars are favored by 3. Give me the Jaguars.
Frauds, the frauds of the South
You keep
coming
calling
in
them
here.
that, and they keep winning football games.
I mean, the Eagles did as well. Now they don't.
Now they
Um, yeah, I'm thinking give me the Browns. It's Joe Fluco. It's 36.5 points. It's +3. Like, they didn't play awful from what I saw. Like, they didn't play good either. I'm hoping it's not DTR and it's Flacco again. So, yeah, give me the Browns +3. I'll take the defense. Like, I'll take the best unit on the field, which is the Browns defense.
okay.
Then it's the Indianapolis Colts at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are 2.5 point underdogs. And
Hmm.
the over-under is 40.5. And because I think this line is gonna go the way of the Bengals, so I think when this line opens, it's gonna be an even game. It's gonna be one, around 1 point, 0.5. I'll take the Bengals. Bengals +2.5.
You have more faith than I do. Give me the Colts.
That seems to be the case. I just don't buy it with this Colts team. I mean, they had two blocked punts, and they won by 3 points versus the Tennessee Titans. And one of those punts got blocked for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I just don't buy that team at all.
Okay. You don't have to. Oh
I don't
God.
buy it with Minshew. Remember what I told you about this Colts roster? And you laughed at it. And now it's a 7-win team right now.
Yeah, without Anthony Richardson.
Oh, stop it. Minshew is awful. Come on, man. Oh, this guy. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
I gotta pick this one.
You have to pick this
Okay.
one.
Okay. Next up, we got the Seahawks at the 49ers. 10.5 point that's a lot of freaking points too. 10.5 point favorites for the 49ers. You know what? I think y'all getting sacrificed. Give me the 49ers.
49ers
Yes.
minus 10.5.
Yes.
This might
That's
be just me picking with the heart again. And last week it did pay out because they did cover versus the Cowboys. But
they
ten and
did
a
cover.
half, divisional rival. And we usually have a game in which we are at least okay versus the Niners, and we at least keep it inside of 10 points.
Today's not this
So
day. Today's
I
not
don't
that
know.
day.
We might not have another game to make it close. Last year it was on the playoffs, which it wasn't like a blowout. At least throughout the game. I'm not sure if we'll have a chance in the playoffs to make that happen. So give me the Seahawks plus 10.5. Okay, next up, it's the Minnesota Vikings at the Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams out of a bye, if I'm not mistaken. And over under 40 points. The Vikings, I am not sure will be starting at QB for the Vikings. If I'm not mistaken, O'Connell has mentioned, at least did mention when they were going into the bye that they would take that time to evaluate the QB position. So I'm not sure if it's Dobbs or if it is the rookie that I'm completely blanking on, or if it is the other guy, the guy who used to play for the Eagles. Well, I cannot remember. And he played. Oh, Mullins, Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins.
So yeah, it's gonna be a rough going. I'm not sure which one of those guys will play. Regardless, give me the Raiders plus 3.
Okay. Then give me the 49ers. Give me the Vikings.
You would want the 49ers plus minus 3 versus the Raiders.
I would. I would.
Okay, now another divisional matchup here.
Denver Broncos at LA Chargers. Oh. Chargers favored by 3. I don't know why. Um I want to pick the Broncos, but that said, you might as well just let the Chargers hurt me some more, so give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm sort of done picking games in which the Chargers are getting points. So anyways, they are favored, I guess that's the point. So I will just take Denver plus 3 because I know the
You're
Chargers
welcome.
will probably, if they win it, it's by 3. If they lose it, it's by more than that. I don't believe they have the facilities to just win a game by more than a touchdown. So yeah, give me the Broncos plus 3. I'll take that. I mean, they were 6-point favorites and they covered it, and they didn't even cover the number. They tied it. It was a push.
Yep.
What?
Yes, it was.
And I believe the line moved to 6.5. So the Patriots covered the game in which they didn't score a single point versus the
Yes.
Chargers.
Yes,
This
they
is
did,
where we are
Alex.
at right now.
Yes, they did, Alex.
So yeah, and the last game before the primetime games, it's Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs.
That needed to be flexed into like one
That
of the. Anyway, go
no,
on.
no, but at least on Monday Night Football we will get two really good games. I'll promise you, we'll get to that.
Oh God.
So this is a 47.5 points over under, and the Chiefs are favored by 2.5.
Uh-huh.
I'm surprised it is just 2.5, to be honest. But
Me
the Bills are
too.
coming out of the bye, and the Packers just beat the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs' offense looks bad.
Yeah, it looks really bad right now. So,
So
this one is really rough to pick.
not for me,
Um,
but I'm probably go on. Who you got?
give me, give me the Chiefs minus 2.5.
Damn it. That's actually who I wanted. But you know what? It worked with the Eagles. It's gonna work with the Chiefs. You just condemned and cursed the Chiefs. Congratulations. So give me the Bills.
Right. Sunday night football.
Yep, Sunday night football. Eagles at Cowboys. Wow, the Cowboys are favored by 3.5.
And
I
it's
so
the highest over under on the week. 53 points.
so you've already called the Eagles a fraud, so I don't think you're gonna take them again. So I think the Alex curse is off. So give me the Eagles.
Sorry, buddy.
What?
But I am taking the Eagles plus 3.5. The Cowboys just do not win those big
What?
games. Yeah,
Can
it's
I
Philly
switch
plus
then?
3.5. I guess you can. I'll let you switch.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then Dallas minus 3.5 for you. I just do not believe that Dallas can win those big games. And the Eagles will be pissed off. This was the game that I was expecting, that the Eagles just get completely destroyed, and now they have a point to prove. Now, this is a Philly game. I think, and I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna say, this is my upset of the week, and I think they beat the brakes out of the Cowboys.
Okay.
I think they outscored them by 20.
Okay. If you say so, Alex.
I
If
think
you
they will
say so.
destroy the Cowboys. And everyone will be back on the bandwagon of the Eagles. And I'll be here to hate on the Eagles some more, but I mean, I just cannot trust Dallas in this big spot, and I think they will be a major letdown. And next up for me, because we cannot have good things on prime time, instead of having the Bills Chiefs game being flexed out to Monday Night Football, we have two games on Monday Night Football. One of them, it's the Tennessee Titans at the Miami Dolphins. Over under is 47 points. And
Oh.
like I'm just gonna take Miami. It's it's just Miami minus 13 for me. I was on the wrong side of the Commanders. I do not want that to happen again. So I will just take the minus 13. I am not sure how Tennessee can just hang on and not and cover this number, to be honest.
All right. I guess it's time to get hurt. Um,
Oh boy.
yeah. All right. Give it to me. Give me the Titans plus 13.
Oh buddy.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get hurt with this one too.
You are.
It seems like every time I feel bad about a week, though, it works out. So, I'm sure I'm gonna come here next week and you'll be like, and by the way, you did 8-3. Congratulations. It's like, oh, okay. Sure, sure. Thanks. I really planned that. So I got the last game.
Yay.
Packers at Giants. I just I can't. I've seen the Giants or Tommy DeVito have one good game. You can't. No. Just give me the Packers. 6.5 points. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It might be Tyrod Taylor because they have activated this practice window, so it can be Tyrod
Have they
Taylor.
activated an offense? Because that's what they're
No,
going to need to
that's
activate.
the trap card that they're saving for week 17 or 18. That's when they
Uh-huh.
score 40 and will be all that all at their offense. But yeah, give me the Packers -6.5 as well. This is the oddest team right now in the league. This is the team desperate to make a playoff run. And Jordan Love is showing, I mean, is it showing flashes
Yes.
of being the successor
Good.
that we
Great.
all expected
Yes.
for
Which would
Aaron
be so
Rodgers?
weird, by the way. Imagine being a franchise and you can go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to another great quarterback. Like, I don't know.
Some people, man.
The
Some people.
Packers are just. I'm envious of Packer fans. That's all I'm
Meanwhile,
gonna say.
The Patriots go from Tom Brady, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi. It's just, who can they even go down to next? Is it just like no QB or Bill Belichick at QB?
Bill Belichick probably wishes he could play QB for the Patriots right now.
Have you seen the Patriots are just so bad right now that they're when they are announcing next week's game, Thursday night football, they
Uh-huh.
usually put like two players, the two best players of each team, side to side, and they put up
Uh-huh.
a game, so on and so forth. So I
Sure.
was watching Thursday night football, and they were announcing next week's Thursday night football game. The Steelers, TJ Watt in the picture, all good. The
Yeah.
Patriots, Bill Belichick on the picture.
What?
And I'm just sitting there thinking, that would go nicely. Can you imagine just Bill trying to defend TJ Watt? 70-year-old Bill just going out there, gorilla position, just getting destroyed by TJ Watt.
I mean, quite honestly, at this point, if you told me Patriots fan couldn't name like more than 5 Patriots players, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, true. I
So
think
I get it.
people know it mostly because of fantasy football. 'Cause if you're a Patriots fan, first I'm
There's
sorry.
there's 5 Patriot players who are relevant in fantasy football. Who?
Not relevant, but they're at least
Exactly.
knowledge. You at least know their existence.
I'm struggling right now to think of Ramadre Stevenson.
Okay. One.
That's it. You got me.
Zeke. That's two.
Okay.
Then you can say Taekwon Thornton.
Are you high? Taekwon Thornton hasn't done any. Stop it.
No, no, Keishon Butte.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's getting trippy out here. And Juju Smith-Schuster. Well, I wouldn't even blame you if you didn't know he was on the Patriots because
And
I don't
and
think the
5, of course,
Patriots
has to
know.
be Hunter Henry.
Yes,
Mm,
Hunter
Hunter
Henry.
Henry. Yep.
Or Bailey Zappi. You could have just said Bailey Zappi, dude.
You could
The
have said Bailey.
GOAT.
You're not wrong. I just uh, I feel bad for the Patriots. That's all I got. That's,
And it's hard to feel bad for, and I also do feel some sort of bad for them, but it's hard to feel bad for a franchise with like 6 rings in the last 20 years. It's kind of like, okay. I mean, at least with the Packers, it's like they've gone from great QB to great QB to great QB, but they have like 2 rings in, I don't know, 30 years. Patriots have like 6 in the last 20. So,
it almost feels like warranted. Like, yeah, you guys suck now, but
yeah.
there was a whole decade where you were making deep playoff runs every year. So
Yeah,
take
the
your
Packers
lumps.
the cheat code. The Patriots didn't find that, so it's kind of like they are just starting over. Like they got ended in GTA, and now they are spawning back up with nothing. While the Packers had the cheat codes on, so now
Wasted.
come back with everything. Uh, this is the show, I think.
This is the show, I think.
Perfect.
At least we got a show out, man. November was
Yeah,
rough. November was rough. I'm not gonna lie.
it happens. There's more things happening on November.
Yeah, that is true. Thanksgiving, Black
Thanksgiving,
Friday.
Black Friday, yeah. Oh, it's Christmas, but it's sort of like on Christmas, people will just, like during shopping and so on, people are just not super tuned in, I'm guessing. And Christmas, I mean, you can just put those headphones in and just enjoy it, I guess,
I mean,
while you're
yeah,
just cooking meals.
it's still crazy here during Christmas. So like there's this little lull. Like you get to Thanksgiving and right before Thanksgiving, like the week before, everything's crazy. And then like Thanksgiving happens. And then there's like that little lull. That little like week or two where you're just like, I'm just done with everything. You know, I did all my shopping. And then a week or two before Christmas, then you're like, oh crap, I gotta get back out there and prepare for Christmas. And that's how America works, generally speaking.
You guys just never stop. It's never
No,
ending.
no. There, if there's money to be made, no, America is not stopping. Hate
It's
to
a
break it
money
to you.
printing machine.
We're so greedy that we created a holiday for like to celebrate labor unions and hardworking people, and like just the government paid jobs get off that day, and basically everyone else works.
Lovely.
So so
Yeah, I don't think there's a single holiday. I guess there's one, but it's sort of. I don't think there's a single holiday here in which it's not like holiday for every single person. It's like it's not
wait.
just a single.
Oh, time out. So wait a minute. You're telling me that when you guys have a holiday,
Yes,
a government recognized holiday,
yes,
you everyone has off that day. It's
yes.
not like
I mean, most companies, for example, like I don't know, grocery stores,
I
big
guess you could have Walmart.
supermarkets. No, we don't have Walmart, but we have our version of Walmart. Like we have like
Okay.
two or three big supermarket chains who are usually like they are always open. So those people usually don't have the day off. But for example, like office jobs, the postman, all of those things, like not like shopping, supermarkets, those things are open. The rest are sort of like mostly closed. I'd say. Like I have the every single holiday off. There's just one, which is not sure. Is it Carnival there? Yeah, it's Carnival. So it's the Carnival. That's a holiday here, but it's usually
What?
just for the, yeah. It's usually it's not like a government recognized holiday, but it's sort of like they always give that day off to every single government employee, and most companies give that day off as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, every single holiday I get it off. Yeah.
Hmm, must be
There's
nice.
just a very specific sector that usually works on those days, and it's just like it's of course because of capitalism and all of that. I mean, it's the best time for businesses to make money in terms of like the big supermarkets and the big shoppings, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sort of has to be open there. But the office jobs, I think most of them are closed, to be honest.
It's in the office. So, like, do you have what we have where we have? I live in a small town in the United States. So, um, do you have where one pharmacy, whatever you want to. It can be a grocery store too, but there basically has to be one pharmacy open so people can get their drugs that day. Required. Do you guys have that?
We have that, yes. During the night, there's usually like a pharmacy on service.
Hmm.
Usually during the day, every single one of them is open. During weekdays, every single one of them, I think it's open. During
What
night
about
times,
holidays? I was talking more about
yeah,
holidays.
holidays, night times, and weekends, there's like one that is open, just one, and it's defined like I believe it's monthly or so.
Hmm.
So there's just one per like small city or something. Supermarkets, I think there's no law. For example, on New Year's, so the 1st of January, every single supermarket is closed after the 1 p.m., I believe. Mostly everything is closed after 1 p.m. here.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Closing early on a holiday for us is like 5, 6 o'clock. That's early.
1 p.m. everything is closed here after 1 p.m. after on New Year's and
That's
Christmas, both of those.
crazy.
Yeah. Like Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, everything is open until around 7 if I'm not mistaken, 7 p.m. 7 8 most of the times. But on the actual day, so the 25th and the 1st, everything closes after 1. Like some restaurants like occasionally are open, but it's very very rare that you find something open here after 1 p.m. You sometimes see some like small businesses, especially on the 25th, opening at night, for example, like coffee shop or something, small bars. Those are can usually be found open after, I don't know, around 9 p.m. or something, just for folks to get together who aren't from the same family. You tend to see that just a few hours, nothing major, because we're here. We don't really celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day. It's more on Christmas Eve. So the day is more just like closer family, and most people just stay home and just enjoy a movie or something. And then, like, during the night, there's not really anything. At least this is the experience that I have from my family and most of my friends' family. And then after, like, I don't know, the 25th of December, after like 8 p.m., it's mostly just like a normal day. The 24th, it's where the action happens, I guess. Is it the same there or no?
No.
Is it
No.
is it more the 25?
Yeah, the 25th, the stuff is closed, but there's still like, so that pharmacy that I told you that has to be open is open.
Okay.
Most places are closed on Christmas though, Christmas Day.
Okay. But not New Year's.
No, not New Year's, absolutely not.
Okay. Yeah, because here we celebrate those two. I'm not gonna say equally, but at least close to.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty close. Yeah. I do not understand why, and I've made this question a few times to a few of my friends and my parents and so on and so forth, but I do not understand why. But it's just the way it is here.
Hmm.
1st of January is treated pretty similar to how the 25th is.
Yeah, not here.
But do you guys celebrate Christmas more on the 24th or the 25th?
25th. That's
25th.
Christmas
Okay.
Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Here
Christmas
it's
Day.
more Christmas Eve. That's where we open most of the presents. That's where we
You open the presents on Christmas Eve?
yeah.
Freaking weirdo. What the heck?
Always I mean, there's obviously probably a few families who open it on the 25th, I'm guessing. But my experience with my family and the family of my friends that I know of, it's like I would say 95% of them, it's on the 24th. Which is weird when you come to think about it. the 25th should be, and that's what you see in the movies that you guys make. It's just 25th, the children go downstairs, and there's the presents, and they open up. We really don't have that here. It's sometimes it's closer to midnight on the 24th, but I would say that at least for my family, most of the times it's around 10 p.m. Presents start to get open on the 24th.
That's crazy. You guys are weird.
Just the differences here. Yeah, we finished off with some Christmas differences between countries.
I guess so.
You come for the
Hey, that's
football content, and you stay because of the Christmas differences.
Chris. There you go. Next, well, Thursday episode, you stay to hear Alex cry about his fantasy team. That's why you stay.
Yeah, I think I will cry no matter what, if I win or lose, because I know if I win, I am gonna lose the week after, and if I lose, I'm just gonna be sad because I won't make the playoffs for the first time ever in that league.
No
Not only
Brown
will I
game
not
incoming.
Not only will I not make the playoffs, I'm at risk at finishing last in the division
In your own division.
while having the most points scored. I don't think that has ever happened. Like that surely can't have ever happened to anyone. Like
What did you
most
so like maybe this is this is probably more fantasy episode, but give me like a thought in your mindset going into the season and then like as it's progressed because it's got to be like normal or like happy, normal, sad, crying, depressed. It has to be something like that. Like what were you thinking while the losing streak was going on?
it's weird because for most of it, while I was pretty bummed out that I was losing, I was like, okay, I have this under control because eventually the team will turn around. I'm still one of the best teams in the league. So eventually my bad luck will run out and I will need to win a few games. It will happen. So I was pretty chilled for most of it. But then when I reached the
The
losses
seventh
mark,
loss.
I was like, okay, now, so I cannot. I was like that at the six losses. Like in the six losses, I was like, okay, I really need to win out here, or at least win the next four. I need to stay at 7-6 when I get to the last week, just so I can control my own fate. And then when I got to seven losses, I was like, oh, now this team can afford any sort of slip. This is now do or die for the team. So yeah, I guess it's a roller coaster. It isn't like a big roller coaster. It doesn't have the biggest of highs and the lowest of lows, but it's a roller coaster in which I was pretty chilled for most of it, so it wasn't super dangerous. And then when the seven losses hit, it was just downhill, just complete destruction. Just hairs are being ripped out of my head, and then I get a win. And then it's looking pretty to get another win versus Luke. So it's a pretty bit of an up here. And then Kyron Williams and Pukanuku happen. And Brock Purdy happen. And down there I go. And now I'm pretty sure I'm going to crash this. Because I need Chase to outscore Zay Jones by roughly 5 points, if I'm not mistaken.
And you have no confidence that will happen?
I have very little confidence that will happen.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
I need him to outscore Zay Jones by exactly um
5 points.
110.65 by 4.5 points. And the craziest thing is that even though I might pull a win here and even though I might beat you, I might still not make the playoffs because I depended on other people to make this happen. And yeah, like Ollie Ollie losing. No, Ollie. Which was it? I needed like Zeke to win a game last week or something, and that didn't happen. The one thing that went right was that NC lost the first week that he absolutely needed to, so now he's out of the race,
This guy.
and now I need basically Trojans to lose. I need Trojans to lose last week, and I need Austin, the good Austin, to lose as well. So I need Trojans and Austin to lose. Or
This poor
Zig. I
guy.
need two of those teams to
This
lose.
poor guy.
Austin,
He's broken.
Trojans, or Zig. So
This
yeah,
poor guy.
yeah. This just a lot of scenarios, and now I think that's just the things that I need to happen. Plus, I need to win, which is like the hardest thing to do right now, especially because I have decisions to make, which are usually what I do wrong every single game week. I just make bad decisions. But yeah, we'll save this for Thursday, I guess, when I will know my fate.
When you will know your fate.
Yes.
Well, until next time, Alex is better with the outro.
Well, you guys have a nice, fancy donate button, as Angelo usually says. Um, if you're listening on the podcast app, if you're listening on Spotify, just be sure to subscribe, leave us a review. As I usually say, 5-star review. 5-star review is the absolute minimum we will take. And you can also turn on, don't turn off, please. Turn on the auto download. That also helps. And if you're watching on YouTube, just leave us a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, and leave us a comment as well, telling us what you like about the show and what you don't like about the show. And see you guys Thursday. Peace.
Peace, guys. We're back.